Hey, namaste. I'm Kay. This is Ecstatic Self. Today, I want to talk about the idea of embodiment, or basically, how do you come into your physical self? Because a lot of us live a short distance away from our bodies, right? We exist in our heads, we exist outside of ourselves. We almost feel like these are these weird contraptions that we walk around and move around in. And so, coming home to ourself or finding embodiment can be a lifelong journey. But it doesn't have to be. You can actually come to a place where you are feeling really sexy in your own skin, that you are feeling really at home with yourself. So I wanted to share some tips, tricks, and tools that you can use to find greater ease within your physical form. So I think one of the best and most effective tools that you can use to really find ease in your body is a practice called Abhyanga. Abhyanga comes from the Ayurvedic tradition or the healing tradition of India. And what you do is you warm oil, preferably like coconut oil or sesame oil or even clarified butter if you're feeling kinky. And you massage your whole body from the tips all the way to the core, or from top to bottom, either way. And as you do that, you think loving thoughts for each part of your body. You stay present and you give gratitude for each part of your body. As you go over bones, you do long strokes. As you go over joints, you do circular strokes. And that warm oil gets drawn into you, feel very nourished. You then go take a shower and rinse any of the excess oil off. But I found for myself and with the clients that I work with, like it's a really lovely way to start coming home to your body and starting to have positive feelings for your physical form, because so many of us are constantly saying negative things about our body or thinking negative thoughts about our body. And instead, when we give it some love, it can really start to prosper. So I'd recommend trying an Abhyanga at least once. Warm up some oil, and I usually recommend it in just like a hot bath of water, either under the faucet or heat up some water on the stove and put a little squeeze bottle in there. And give yourself 15-20 minutes. Another thing that we can do to create better embodiment and to come home to ourselves is to be aware of negative self-talk. So often we refer to ourselves in very harsh language that we probably would never use for someone that we love or care about. And yet we say these things for ourselves. We call ourselves ugly or fat or scrawny or unattractive. But what if we start switching that language around and calling ourselves beautiful and radiant and perfect, even with our blank, even with our cellulite or back rolls or whatever? We are still perfect. We are beautiful. So watching your negative self-talk. Another thing that you can do, I'll start with the simple one and go to the more complex one, but the simple exercise is every time you see yourself in a mirror, smile. Don't critique yourself, don't nitpick. Just stop, smile, and move on. I say that's the easier one. It's not actually easy, but it is the easier one compared to option 2, which is go stand in front of a mirror naked and admire yourself. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Maybe even watch yourself touch yourself. Maybe even turn this into a little sexy self-pleasure time where you watch yourself self-pleasuring. But that you start to build this connection of, I am beautiful, I am worthy. And all of us, every single human being alive has imperfections. All of us have areas that we're ashamed of or cause us grief. There's not a human being alive who doesn't have one. So learn to say, I'm beautiful, even if I have blank. I'm worthy, even if I blank. I'm radiant, even if blank. Because you are. And no one is ever so unfortunate that they cannot be loved by themselves or loved by another. And when I was reading somebody's post online where they said, I'm too unattractive to ever have anybody fall in love with me or find me sexy. And I was like, frankly, that's bullshit. Because I have met some people who I did not personally think they were the most attractive of a human being, but they were getting laid like 5-6 times a week with different people. So I really don't think that your quote unquote attractiveness threshold, in a sense of does someone want to photograph you, has anything to do with how attractive you are to another person. Right? That your energy, as we talked about in 3 days video ago, how to be sexier, right? It's your energy, it's your confidence, it's where you are in yourself that is true attractiveness. So give yourself that permission. And then the last thing I want to say about embodiment is you will, and all of us, but you will be far more critical of yourself than anyone else ever will. So what if you started to love yourself as if it were someone else loving you? What if you tried to look at yourself through the eyes of someone who adored you and cared about you very much? What if you started to see yourself in the way that they might see you? That's my thought for today. Cultivating embodiment, because when we're comfortable in our skin, we're so much more comfortable with someone else. And we'll be better humans, better coworkers, better lovers, better parents, better children, better siblings, better friends. So come on home to yourself. I'm Kay, this is Ecstatic Self. I've got a book coming out in November where we talk about these sort of things. Journey to the Ecstatic Self, available for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and wherever fine books are sold. And I hope to share it with you then. And if you think this video will speak to someone, please share it with another human being. Share it with your cat. Doesn't have to be a human being. That's fine as well. Namaste.